Hi guys, it's me, Trudy Lee. How's everybody doing? I am doing just fine today. It is beautiful sunshine. I think it's going to be in the 70s again today. Thank goodness. I'm so grateful for this beautiful weather we're having. Don't have to have heat or air conditioning on, so perfect weather. Unlike the people that are experiencing this flood and wind and rain and everything in California, my heartfelt prayers go out to all the people in California that are facing all this flooding and all this high winds. It's very frightening. It really is. So listen to your weather advisories. Please don't put yourself in danger. If you can safely get out of harm's way, do so. Excuse me. Otherwise, stay put. Sorry, I had a choking fit. That happens sometimes. But I never know what message I'm going to have for you guys until I'm inspired and spirit says, "Yes, that this is it. This is what you're going to talk about today." So as I was getting ready today and putting on some makeup, if you guys remember, it's February the 5th, and today is the day that my husband is going to go to the doctor and see if he is going to need to have a pacemaker. So we're going to get a little information today. So I'm going to go to the doctor with him. We have a late doctor's appointment. Like it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I have plenty of time to get some things done before we go. And as I was putting on my makeup, I was listening. I'm listening to some videos, and I put it on TikTok, and I was just scrolling through TikTok listening, and a lady came on. I guess she's a psychic. I've never seen her before, but all kinds of things come up in your feed. And she had a message about Kamala Harris. It was very cryptic. It was very unflattering. It was very divisive. Um, and I felt like it was just inflammatory, just trying to kind of feed the flames for the people on the right, basically. And I don't leave messages very often. I mean, I've probably wrote messages 3 times on people on TikTok. You can make comments, and I just felt very inspired to write a message. And I'm not, I don't want to write a message and say, what she's doing is wrong or anything. So what I wrote was, um, I wrote that Spirit always sends messages that are uplifting, inclusive, and helpful to mankind. If that's, I'm thinking this, so that's what I wrote. I wrote that in period. That's it. But I'm thinking to myself, if that's not the message you received, you need to check the ego that's speaking. Because that's whenever I do channeling, whenever I get messages, I always ask that I receive inspiring messages that will uplift everybody and not be divisive. So I don't know, these people that I don't know. I don't want to say nothing bad about her, but I'm just saying if you hear a message and it's very divisive and it's negative and it's, you might want to keep scrolling. That's what I'm thinking here. But it really did inspire me for this message that I'm going to deliver today. Because I sincerely believe that messages that we get, as readers, psychics, or channelers, will always be uplifting and non-judgmental. You know, um, when we're doing a reading, and I guess I can only speak for myself. So when I'm doing a reading, the trajectory of the energy, um, is what we're reading. So the momentum of that energy is what we are reading on. And we don't really need to fill in anything with our point of view, our emotions, or and that can be really hard. Like I'm a diehard Democrat, so every time I read something, I might have a little slant to it because hey, I want Democrats, to be inspired and to be uplifted. But there are other people too. There are Republicans too that need inspiration also. So when I do a political reading, I always try to tell y'all that, I'm biased in some way. So I'm trying to be honest about it. Although I try to read the energy as I see it, I am a little biased and with my opinion. So I'll always tell y'all that. Anyway, energy is constantly flowing and changing, and then we have free will, and that can change everything. So what you read on, or what I read on one day, could change in a few days from somebody's free will. Somebody can do something, and everything changes that energy. And so when you read on it again, there's something different that's going to come up. So I think I had told y'all the last time I was doing a video that I was trying to read on Scott Peterson and his chances of getting a new trial. So I had done that, and it was really kind of alarming to me that I was getting this read that his chances, I'm feeling like his chances for a new trial, that energy put forth in that is very good. He has a very good chance of getting a new trial, which super surprised me because I followed that trial very, very closely those years and years ago. That was before I started reading or anything. I was, completely sure that he was guilty. But, reading energy has nothing to do with being guilty or not guilty or what's going to happen. So it's the energy put forth in getting him a new trial, because that's what I asked Spirit to show me. So that's what I'm being shown. A lot of good energy is out there. So it looks like he's got a very good chance of getting a new trial. But I have to say a little bit more about that, and I can tell you, for one, myself, I haven't been watching the news. I've seen that come across my feed. I see it, because I go on YouTube and I see Scott Peterson's maybe getting a new trial. I haven't watched too much news lately, so I haven't really watched the news to see what's going on. I can get the gist of it just by, scrolling. I do get the gist of it. So I used to watch, I used to watch news religiously, CNN, MSNBC. I watched The View. I haven't watched The View in 2 years, probably, you guys, and I haven't missed it at all. And I haven't been watching CNN at all either. Now, the only reason why I knew that there was some bad weather in California is because, I do watch the weather here, and then they will include what's going on in California also. So I have seen it. But you have to really be careful what you're watching, because it does have an influence on you. So another, for instance, my husband this weekend, he was watching Griselda, I think, with Sofia Vergara. They made her look so ugly in that show. Did y'all see that series? It was a limited series, I think 6 episodes. It was a true story about a drug cartel, a lady drug cartel. And it was horrific, horrific. My husband loves to watch things like that. He loves to watch them. So he's like, come on, watch this with me, So I sit down to watch it with him. I watch one episode and I'm like, not my cup of tea. I don't really want to watch this. And he's like, where are you going? What are you doing? So what I do is I put my earpiece in and I put my phone and I start fooling around on my phone and finding other things to watch and see while he watches this, horrific. I mean, I'm telling you, it's not that it's bad acting or anything like that. It's just the storyline is horrific. It's sad and horrific. And, if that's what you think is going to entertain you, I don't see how that's entertaining. There may be one time in my life that I felt that was kind of entertaining, but I don't think it's entertaining anymore. I really don't. People getting blown up, killed, I really don't think it's entertaining. So I think he watched like three of them. He can watch some TV, y'all. So he watched three of them. When he gave up the TV at one point, I finally turned the channel and I put it on the Hallmark channel because the Hallmark channel always has happy endings. They're peaceful, happy endings. It's They're love stories. They're good. And I watched Paging Mr. Darcy, and it was really cute and fun. And I had a happy ending, and I enjoyed it. My husband played on his phone the whole time I watched it. So for 1 hour, he played on his phone, and I'm like, that was such a good show. And he goes, yeah, that's your kind of show. I'm like, yes, it is. But I did want to tell you guys that I got off the track a little bit. Sorry with everything. But Scott Peterson, I do believe he is guilty, even though he has a really good chance of getting a new trial. I think there's supposed to be some new blood evidence coming in, and once that comes in, I think it'll pretty much eliminate him being able to get a new trial. But there is a lot of momentum going forward. So a lot of people have, I guess a lot of people must believe that he's not guilty and believe that, some evidence was left out of the trial. But Spirit indicates to me that he is guilty. And like I said, because I did consume so much of that trial and news, I hope I'm getting that information correctly. But the Innocence Project has given him this chance of a new trial. And they have just put so much momentum into it. And it's not about him being guilty or not. It's about the power of that energy and momentum. But once all the blood tests come back, I feel like everything will die down, and then this energy will change. And then when we read on it, we'll say, "Oh hell, heck no, he doesn't got no chance at all." But right now, this energy's building, building, building. But and I think that's how we can read things and then get things wrong. You know what I mean? So you're reading things, and if you have to be sure and tell that this is the energy of today. This is what's going on today, because things can change. And if you don't preface your reading with that, then you might be invalidated a lot. So I just want to tell y'all that's what I feel. I feel like there's a momentum building, but it's I do feel like he's guilty. He's guilty, and I don't feel like he's going to get a new trial. He's definitely not going to get out of jail, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, okay? So that's just my take on how I'm perceiving this information and energy. All right. The message is that we have to be so careful of what we're listening to and subjecting ourselves to, because it influences us even when we don't realize that it is. Even those that you support. If you're a Democrat, if you're a Republican, who you support publicly, listen to them very closely. Okay, listen to the words that they're saying, not the party, because we all want leaders that will unite us and uplift us. And that's our job here. Anybody that is on a platform that has, that's able to reach people, we have a responsibility to, be compassionate, kind, and unite us all and uplift everyone, okay? Not to be divisive. So if you come across a reader that's divisive, you may think about whether you want to really listen to that person or not. Same thing with the news or anything else that you're watching or listening to, because, we all want a kind, loving place to live, right? And when we're watching stuff on TikTok, on Facebook, on Twitter or X or whatever that is called now, the algorithms are the way they're generated is whatever you're watching, you'll get more of that. So if you're a Democrat and you're watching all the things from Midas Touch and all that, then you're going to get all more of that, and you're going to think that's all there is out there. If you're a Republican, then you're watching Fox News and you're watching all the things that the Republicans are saying, you think that's all that there's out there. It's limiting our circle, and it's dividing us, and it's not good. So, you know, it's kind of strange, but to me, this is the way I see it. So these news organizations and and like I said, TikTok, Twitter, X, whatever, Facebook, they've all learned lessons from the universe and they've applied it. So the universe has its own algorithm also. Whatever you put out is what you get back. And they're using that. They're using that strategy to, control us basically and keep us divided. Because if we were all united, we'd be so strong. And nobody wants that. They want us all to be divided. So whatever you put back will come back to you. So put out loving, kind thoughts, good deeds, and that's what will come back to you. Your universe is comprised of what you want it to be and how you feel it should be, right? So if you're feeling unhappy, if you're complaining all the time, if that's your universe, and you're in that emotional place and you're putting that energy out there in the universe, that's what's going to come back to you. And that's exactly what all these organizations are using to control us. And it's working. So if you ever wanted to see how things can be manifested, watch the news, watch Twitter, watch Facebook, watch TikTok, watch their algorithms. It's exactly how it works. They know it. Now you know it. So you go apply it to your life. Okay? All right. So that was a roundabout way of getting a message across, but I have to just let it filter through as it comes through. So, all right, guys. Thank you for listening in. I appreciate it. So I am going to be heading out to the doctor now. So thank you. If you would please say a prayer for my husband and that all will go well. No matter what happens, all will go well. I trust and believe that all will go well. So I'll let y'all know what happens, okay? All right, love you. Do something kind for somebody. It'll always come back to you. Bye for now.